What up, good people? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Coach Andre Blast, game Chef Dre Blast, coming to you again with the map. I want to first of all thank everybody for being on the call today. I know some of you are in the middle of your work day. Some of you are actually overseas in other countries. I know some of you are all over the United States. I know I've got a couple of people coming in from the Middle East. Got my boy Victor coming out of Ethiopia, if I remember correctly. Got my boy out of Canada, and then we've got some incredible people that are here locally. From Texas and Illinois and New York, and I think my boy Vatan is on here too, coming out of Florida. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining on today. We're going to have an incredible time, and I promise that we will not waste your time and hopefully give you some incredible, valuable information to really take you to the next level. So, not to belabor any more time, because time is the one commodity we can never get back. We can always make more money, but we can never make more time. Kenya, thank you, Victor. Thank you, Victor. I don't know why I was thinking Ethiopia. He's coming in from Kenya. And hopefully your business partner in Australia get a chance to join. I know it's like 2 a.m. for him. But just excited for everybody to be here and all over. And if you would be so kind, everybody, make sure you mute your phones so we don't have, too much background noise going on here. Man, we got quite a few people in here today. This is what I'm talking about. So thank you once again for accepting the LinkedIn, invite. And some of you got an opportunity to do some personal one-on-ones with me. And if I didn't get that with some of the other people that are here on the call, it's okay. We will definitely get to that point. But I thank you once again for coming on here. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, because we got some powerful information to explain to you what the MAP is as far as your voice, your power, and your mindset is concerned. Because the Mindset Accelerator program is designed to help unlock the additional 1% of the 90% that science says we don't use, right? Scientists often have told us that we only use 10% of our brain capacity, right? And only using 10% of our brain capacity, that means we have another 90% that we can access. And with the MAP program, our goal is just to open up at least 1% for you, because that's where your second level of intelligence is. That's where that third eye blind is, and it's also where your spirituality and your connection, to the universe and to the great architect really lies. And when you put those three components together, the goal that you're trying to achieve has less to do about money and has more to do about changing lives. Because I've learned a long time ago from some great men, the more lives that you change, the bigger your bank account becomes, right? The more impact that you have, the more zeros that come into your bank account, because it's a natural law that's going to happen. So you have to understand, when we talk about voice, when we talk about power and mindset, man, you've got some incredible speakers and coaches that's coming out here today. So we're going to have some fun. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop into it. We're going to go ahead and get started, good people. Let me unshare my audio. Boom. Excellent. Can everybody see my screen okay? Yeah, thumbs up. Outstanding. Actually, let me change something real quick. All right, can you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
All right, cool. You can't see my time clock in the background, can you? I'm being funny. Outstanding. So again, everyone, my name is Andre Blast Game, and in today's video training, we're going to discover how to accelerate your mindset and help scale your business, your personal relationships, or your relationship with money in less than 90 days is the goal. So we got 3 keys to accelerate your mindset and conquer your goals. All right, we're going to stop wasting time, stop wasting relationships, and stop wasting opportunities. So who is this for? These questions I'm going to ask you, and you can put in the chat, you can say it to yourself, but Answer these questions for yourself because we're going to share you some valuable insight. How many of you want to take your life to the next level but have no idea where to start? I know I was like that many years ago. Many years ago. How many of you want to have an amazing relationship with yourself, family, and money? Anybody? Put it in the chat. If that's you, yes. Put a thumbs up in the corner. Yes. Let everybody know. How many of you want to achieve a specific goal in the next 90 days, 6 months, the next year, in the next 30 days, but you don't have the roadmap to get there? You're not quite sure how. I was like that. Every time I start a new business venture, it's the same way as well. It's like you have a roadmap, you know where the destination is, but man, having that motivation to stay and go on that path sometimes gets a little tough. And how many of you also want to unlock your purpose? There's something I've learned over the years is that many of us, and some of you are definitely on this call, we have incredible gifts that we don't use. Many of us are in jobs that we're good at, but not necessarily jobs that are our purpose. Many of us own businesses and have businesses that are profitable, but we're doing it because we're good at it, not necessarily because it's our purpose. And see, those are two different things. You know, some people's purpose is to help the sick and shut in. Some people's purpose is to have their companies become so big that they employ millions of people. See, one of the purposes that I have and why I reach out to you on LinkedIn and build this large network is that before my time expires on this earth, I want to change 1 billion lives. And in order to change 1 billion lives, I'm going to need 1 billion people to do it. That makes sense? And so you get to be among that billion. And I'm excited because in the next 90 days, my goal has been to change 100 lives directly. I'm at about 27 right now. So I'm excited about who else is going to be added to this circle to take this journey up with me to change 1 billion lives before they pass away. So this is for you. You're in the right place. I told you I'm going to tell you thank you a lot. I will do everything in my power to make this worth your time. I want to express my gratitude for sharing your most valuable time with us to watch this training. Me and my fellow coaches, business partners, we will make it worth your time to help you accelerate your mind and change your life and change the people around you. It's important. So thank you once again. So for the ones that didn't get a chance to do a one-on-one, let me let you know who I am. Andre, I'm a chef by trade. I've been in the hospitality industry 27 years. I'm also a certified coach with extreme execution, where my mentor is Dr. Eric Thomas. If you know him at all, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I'm also founder and CEO of Heavily Catering International. We are a catering, consulting, and coaching firm in the food space and beyond. I've been fortunate to be in that in entrepreneur business over the last 15 years and made it through the trying times that we had in years past and have been very successful to go forward. Helped, multiple amounts of people accelerate their mindset in the last 6 years. And as a chef, I also compete in what you call the World Food Championships, and it's the Super Bowl of food. And you can definitely look me up. My first name and my last name are the only spelling of that name in the United States. So there's not another one. So if you Aundre, you'll be able to find me on my website and things like that, because I believe documentation is better than conversation. So me and my team, we have a lot of credibility behind us. I've been on CBS and Fox and all the different, news stations, but I make connections with you because, credibility is extremely important in what we do. That's why we get certified as coaches. Right? And so we are excited for you to be here. So let me tell you about our next coach is going to be today. Now, this woman is extremely powerful. She's going to be discussing voice today. Kelly. What can I say about Kelly Riley? Well, she's a speaker, she's an author, and an entrepreneur. She has a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of South Florida, co-founder of BHFH LLC. Because of him, for him. Okay? She's also the author of Be Fruitful, Incredible book. You should definitely pick it up. She also has a children's book that she wrote with her son, which I think is incredible as well. And she's helped, hundreds, if not more than that, accelerate their mindset and achieve their complete fulfillment. All right? So, you are on the right call with the right group of people that's really going to help accelerate that mindset. We just want to let you know that, hey, that we are qualified to do what we do. So, with your permission, I'm going to go to the next one. King Harrison. Now, King is going to be talking about power today. He is a man of life, certified coach and speaker, entrepreneur, poet, and musician. So you got to have a lot of power and a lot of discipline to have all those things and actually write it in your description for people to know and see. He is founder and CEO of M.A.P, persistently overcoming with effective resilience. Powerful. Just in that description alone, powerful. Helped hundreds, 200s, 300s accelerate their mindset by empowering confidence, education, and transparency. And he has an incredible platform with the focus on the empowerment of women and their strength, right? So this is we're looking at a group of powerful people that you have on this call that's going to give you what you need. And hopefully at the end, when we get to the live coaching session, you'll have some questions because you'll have us on the spot. All right. So I'm going to get the preliminary stuff out of the way. What do clients say about us? Right. Just after a few sessions with Coach Andre, I felt that I was able to see things from a different perspective. This definitely helped me grow my business to 6 figures and went from having 0 to 15 employees. This is Ray in there that he owns Neida Marketing and Consulting, and he has been, he came through the coaching program in its early stages, man, and it's just been a phenomenal resource. And his creative marketing company has just grown by leaps and bounds in a very short period of time. So it's always impressive to work with him. And then this is Tamara W. She's the founder of PIC, People Inspiring Change Through Kindness. I've always considered discipline and consistency to be the most challenging when it comes to my success. Coach Andre's content and coaching have helped me to ultimately understand those same areas are where I hold the most power. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, I'm using them as tools to build the life I've always wanted. See, sometimes it's not always about money. I know you get a lot of these coaches out here to say, I get you to 6 figures in 6 months, build a 6-figure business. And what they don't understand is that, sometimes people just want to build a relationship. Many of you on here make 6 figures already. Some of you make 7 figures. You don't necessarily need coaching for you to go to another level to add another 0, but you would like to build some relationships with your team or build a team. And you definitely need to know how to get there, and we have the map for that success. Rosie, founder of Soar Hospitality and Travel in New Jersey. Man, she's a precious one to my heart. I'd have to say that I have appreciated Coach Andre's mentoring as it pertains to Soar, from showing me how to scale our organization in a way that will place us in a position to excel even that much further, to encouraging me to become more confident in my own abilities, go hard, reach deep, and leave no stone or opportunity unturned. And see, if you notice, this isn't necessarily all about the dollar amount. It's about changing you. See, your voice, your power, and your mindset will directly affect the people that care about you the most, the people that are directly around you. All right? So, we're gonna do our best to keep this rolling. What you will discover with the MAP, Intro to Mindset. How to have a healthy relationship with yourself that is sustainable. A lot of us don't know ourselves. We think we do, but we don't know how to be our authentic self on a regular basis. Some of us don't even know why we act the way we do, or we have the personality that we does, or how we react to a lot of situations. That's because you've got to build a healthy relationship with yourself and make it sustainable for some time. We do this with the MAP. how to have an amazing relationship with your family and all the people around you, how to have a profitable relationship with your money. All right? Want everybody to understand. This is what we're going over today. Relationship with yourself, relationship with others, relationship with your money. And your coaches for today. Bum, 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 bum. Coach Kelly Riley is going to start off with your voice. Then King's going to come up with your power, and I'm going to end it off with your mind. And with that being said, Coach Kelly, are you there, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Excellent. Let me
Listen,
stop sharing so I can let you get in there.
no, you're fine. I just wanted to take some time to say thank you, Coach Dre. Just being connected. I see so many beautiful faces on, beautiful pictures on this morning. And I just wanted to just say real quickly that community is so important, you guys. And I just want to thank Coach Dre. Meeting with him and working with him. I mean, it has opened so many doors. Um, I'm um, I would like to say that I'm an influencer as well, but we all know that Coach Dre has that light. He lights up like a Christmas tree and it's so contagious. So I just want to say to him publicly, thank you for this opportunity that I consider myself to be an introvert, but every time I do a function or event with Coach Dre, he like pulls me out, and I'm so appreciative. So I just want to publicly say thank you for this opportunity. And I want to say hello and good morning to everybody. So I am Coach Kelly. I'm going to talk about your voice, tapping into that voice, because believe it or not, it is so important to have a voice, to have a sound. Um, and I'll say this, everyone has a sound, but not everyone has a voice. Whether what we've gone through in life, what we've encountered, sometimes that sound can get distorted or it can get altered. But if we can tap into that sound, if we can tap into that voice, that purpose, it is powerful and it will produce change all by itself. So look, let me go ahead and share my screen. I am so excited about speaking with you all today. So my name is Kelly Riley. That is my government name. I have a bachelor's degree in science. I'm a science brain from University of South Florida. I live here in sunny Tampa Bay. Go Bucks. I think they're still winning. I think. I don't really, I'm not really a football fan, but I do go hard for my city. I am a certified coach and a certified speaker. I received my certification through Thomas and Thomas Consulting, which is the same group that Coach Dre received his certification in with Dr. Eric Thomas. And I am a two-time published author. I'm actually, Coach Dre, I haven't told you, I'm actually working on my third book, waiting to be released next year. But before I
Let's
even get into
go.
before I even get into that, Coach Dre knows that I share my accolades, but I'm going to definitely share the struggle as well, because there's so many people out there that's going to tell you, "Oh, I did this, I did that, and I accomplished all this," but they're not going to tell you that it cost something. They ain't going to tell you what they've been through. And I'm going to tell you, my story is a story of an underdog. That the person you see today was not the person that was here maybe 10 years ago, right? That I struggled with having, matter of fact, I had no voice at all. So to have a voice now and to have, a publishing company and to be an author and to have a privilege to speak weekly to an international audience, that didn't come by osmosis. That didn't come overnight. Your girl really is an underdog. I went through a lot, was sexually abused at a young age. I had low confidence, no confidence, low self-esteem. I was very insecure, was severely bullied even into my 20s. When you talk about um, went through being depressed, went through, and different, when you are going through things like this, different signs show up, right? Where I had difficulties with even looking people in their eyes, that I would constantly look down. I would constantly wear dark colors. Went through all of that. But by the grace of God, come on, you got to hear me, guys. By the grace of God and by, come on, coaching, putting myself in an environment to grow, putting myself in an opportunity in an environment, excuse me, to grow and get better. and to really get healing and get whole in those areas that nobody saw, right? Nobody saw, but it was showing up. And by the grace of God now, I have I won't say perfected, but I've learned that I do have a sound. I learned that I do have a voice. And when I use it, it's powerful. And I went from having no voice to now being three-time author. I went from having no voice and no sound and no purpose whatsoever to now I own 3 different companies. I went from rock bottom, not even knowing who I was, to now I'm able to help women and people all around the world. So when we talk about this voice, I really want you guys to hear what I have to say for the next 5 minutes. Coach Dre, I'm not looking at the time, but really listen to what we have to say because it's life changing if you can receive it. The next slide I want to go over is my why. And I know Coach Dre talks about that a lot, having a why, right? So I'm gonna give it to you straight. I love to talk about, my triumph, what I've gone through. But this right here is always gonna be like my heart, my family. My husband, I've been married this year for 7 years. I have a little boy who I struggled for a while to have a child. By the grace of God, I was able to get one, and his name is Micah. It's my son. That's my why. That's my future. So, I'm very clear as coaches and as people. You have to be very clear of what motivates you, what fuels you, because a lot of times there's going to be times where you don't feel like getting up in the morning. It's going to be like times where you don't feel like making those tough decisions in business or making those tough decisions when it comes to relationships. But you better believe when it comes to my family, I play no games. So I'm very clear on my why and my motivation. So definitely throughout the coaching, we talk about the significance of having a why and staying focused on what your motivation is. So let's talk about it. The power of sound, right? Your voice, and that you don't have the right to remain silent. For a long time, I thought that my sound was insignificant. I thought that if I did speak, that nobody would have to listen to nobody would want to listen to what I had to say. But something interesting happened, Coach Dre, and something interesting happened. I'm looking at some of the names, Princess Group and Daya Harris. Something interesting happened when I began to share my testimony, when I began to share my story. It was mind blowing. I realized the more I shared my story, other people would say, you know what, that happened to me too, or I experienced that too. And what I thought would be something shameful, what I thought would be something horrific, which it is, but when you're able to overcome those things, when you're able to get victory, you share a commonality with people and you become relatable. And I love the fact that Coach Dre said everything isn't about money, and you're absolutely right. Building relationships, sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Relationships will always be the game. Relationships will always be the key to building in the future. So let's just talk about sound a little bit, because I told y'all I'm a science brain, right? So sound incites emotion and can travel through any medium. Sound is so powerful because unlike the other elements, sound can travel through the air, sound can travel through water, sound can travel through a brick wall. That's why I'm telling you, having a sound, having a voice is very powerful. I mean, I've seen some, people who, are speakers, but then you can see like the insecurity and you can see where they're not secure in their voice. But I'm telling you, when you find that when you find your voice, it's a game changer and it exudes a confidence that maybe you don't even know that you have. So again, I'm a science brain, so I'm always going to back things up by the word of God and by science. I saw this article where it talks about your body reacts to different sounds. And it's not just like music and jazz, and we probably all experience how you can listen to a song and it brings back a memory, right? You can listen to a song and it may put you in a good mood or a bad mood. But I just want to touch on the fact that your body reacts to your voice. Let me say that again. Your body reacts to your sound. That there's even been scientific studies that say that when you speak to your body, when you speak to yourself, that you can even boost your immune system just off of talking. And the studies have shown that you can relieve stress, boost in confidence, gives focus, gives energy, it improves your relationships. I know this for a fact because when me and my husband were going through it, I've been married for 7 years. When we were able to get help, when we were able to get counseling, when we were able to get a coach, when we were able to get a coach in our marriage and we had someone speaking life, guess what? We begin to treat each other better. We begin to see things differently and clearly. So I'm telling you, even, your voice and then the other voices that are around you, they really do play in on who you are. They play in on your confidence. Some studies have even shown putting yourself in the right environment will reduce depression, joint pain, ailments, hypertension. Medication is on the rise. You guys know that. But if you put yourself in a positive environment, it counteracts even those things. So, throughout the coaching, we talk about, what makes you speak, really getting into the core of, the purpose, your purpose and what makes you speak. Like I said before, for me, I didn't initially think that I would be a motivational speaker. But when I realized other people were hurting, when I realized other people had went through a similar story as me, oh, you better believe your girl came alive. Because if I can help somebody get through something that I went through, if I can help somebody make it to the other side, I'm going to do that. And I can be as introverted as I am. But again, I talked about my story of being abused as a child. When I see abuse, I can call it out immediately and I'm able to help others get over that. That's why I'm saying your sound and your voice is important. When I think about the most influential people in the world, people like Dr. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, when I think about these people, they did not change the world with millions and billions of dollars. They did not change the world with technology and smartphones. They didn't change the world with having the right network. They changed the world with their voice. They were very clear on their purpose and they knew their sound could make a difference. They knew their voice would make a difference. And they are so significant that we are still talking about them today. So that voice is something we definitely need to unlock and really talk about. I believe that's the last slide. It is. But I'll say this before I go, Coach Dre. The number one fear in the world is public speaking. Let me say that again. The number one fear in the world is public speaking. And it's always going to be that. You know why? Because the enemy don't want you to speak. People don't want you to speak, but your voice is so powerful. And if we can unlock that, if we can tap into that, it's going to change your life and it's going to change the next generation. It's going to change your community and it's going to change this world for the better. Coach Dre, I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Wow. The power of sound in your voice. Kelly, I just appreciate the fact that you open up because most people won't. Most people won't share their story because they think it's insignificant or they think that story, that testimony, that issue was for them. See, the trials and tribulations that we go through is for others. Not step on anybody's faith, but no matter what faith book you read, there was a struggle that happened with someone in it. And because they told their story is why we're able to tell our story now and change lives. So your voice, Kelly, that was powerful. I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us. I was excited to have you coming out of Florida. Absolutely awesome. Well, to keep this thing on and going, I want to bring up a great friend of mine, brother in arms, a fellow man of faith, the one that's going to be bringing on, talking about a little bit of power. Hold on, let me make sure I got my man's background up on here so y'all can see this. Yo, power, Coach King. Are you there, good sir?
I'm here, I'm ready.
Outside, cut that video on for me, good man.
Oh, I'm ready. Let me get my screen right. Oh, I got it. Somebody had to stop sharing for me. Ooh,
Boom. There you go, good man.
All right. Yeah. All right, good people. I hope you're ready. I'm gonna be a little different than what you're used to, but we're gonna get through it. Let's get to it.
How did I overcome the voids from childhood. How did I overcome the mindset of failure? How did I overcome being homeless? I decided to believe who God said I was. I decided to walk in His power, persistently overcoming with effective resilience. Now I am power. Now I live power. Most importantly, I teach power. I am King Herson, the authentic coach. I believe the same power that's within me is also in you. I believe that you can persistently overcome with effective resilience whatever you face in any obstacle. I believe in you. It's time for you to believe in yourself.
Great morning, people. Let's go. Listen. I am King Harrison, as the video said, the authentic coach. Now, Dre said at the top, what I do, I work with women. I empower women to master their subconscious so they can walk in power. And I know many people ask me this question, King, why do you work with women? I'll show you. This is why I work with women. You see the light in my little girl's eye? She's 3 years old. She has a light. She believes she can do anything right now. But what has happened over time as I look at women today, that light that my 3-year-old is gone. So I'm on a mission to make sure women get that light back in their eye so they can master whatever situation they come into, and they can dominate with power, persistently overcoming with effective resilience. And how I do that, let me just give it back. Let me go back. Let me tell you about myself, my little credentials and stuff like that, which I really don't really live on. I'm certified in intermetrics through advanced disc values and all that stuff. And I also, with them, I'm certified through ET. But most importantly, let me tell you what I'm certified in. Life experiences. I'm 45 years old. I've almost died 3 times. One time they actually gave me 24 hours. But I'm here before you right now, standing in His power, in God's power. And if it ain't obvious, I rock with God 24/7. So what I'm going to do, because I know time is value, and I thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to rock with us for a little bit, to let us help you out, empower you a little bit. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. I'm not going to, like Jerry say, belabor. That's a new word, Jerry. I just learned that. I like that. I'm going to use that more often. So let me show you I got 4 things that I live by to help you walk in power. Number 1, first of all, you got to get up. You got to go eliminate the unnecessary pressures. What are unnecessary pressures? Excuses. It's unnecessary. Making excuses. You don't need them. No need to have excuses. You can do whatever you put your mind to do. You don't have to do it like everybody else do it. You don't have to do it like I do it, Dre do it, or Kelly. But you can do whatever you put your mind to. Stop making excuses of why you cannot do it or why you don't have people to help you. Let's eliminate that. Moving on. This is my favorite one. Step. Silence the enemy's purpose. How do you do that, King? I tell you how. Y'all all have y'all little phones, whether it be Android or the iPhone. iPhones, which I preference. I love iPhones. You can record yourself encouraging yourself. You can speak life to yourself on your iPhone or your Android and record it. And what you can do then, you can play it to yourself in the morning when you wake up. Then you can play it again before you go to sleep at night. But you also can play it throughout the day. Why? Because now you're training your subconscious to realize that you are powerful. So let me give you an example of how that look. I like to say things that God told me. He said, I'm the head and not the tail. He said, I'm above and not beneath. He said, I'm a lender and not a borrower. So I like to play things like that to me and let me hear that, hear me say that to me. So when my subconscious hear it, it will remind me when my conscious mind has stopped working. When I'm sitting here relaxing, just chilling, all of a sudden my subconscious say, you know, you're a lender, not a borrower. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I sure am. You know, you can do anything you put your mind to do. You right, I can. You know that you can achieve any goal because wherever the soles of your feet tread, you possess. You absolutely right. Instead of listen to this negative stuff in this world where people tell you what you can't do, how you can't achieve, how you can't get up, you remind your own self with your words that you can absolutely do that. And see, the next thing, I'm gonna skip that one because I want to say that for last. The next thing is press. Push resilience in every single situation. As you see, this is a copy of my workbook that I give my clients. Spiritual, personal, family, fitness, and finance. Push resilience every single situation. In other words, don't give up. If it get hard, keep going. If you don't like what's going on, change it. But don't give up. Keep going. Now, I'm gonna labor on this one right here. This is what I tell people. You have to bleed. When I say bleed, you have to believe. Love empowers every drive. Now, why am I going here first? I am an advocate, believe it. The most powerful thing you could do for yourself is forgive. Let me tell you something. Y'all that showed up today, I know y'all didn't come. You didn't know y'all gonna get a sermon. I'm gonna give you a snippet though. Forgive. First thing you need to forgive, first person you need to forgive yourself. King, why you say forgive myself? Forgive yourself for the bad decisions that you made because you actually didn't have all the knowledge, or you felt like if you make this decision, this can further push you in your position of your job or your relationship. Forgive yourself. It didn't work out. It's okay. It's all right. That's what life is. Trial and error. The most important thing you got to do is learn from it. So forgive yourself. You say, it's okay. I made a mistake. I don't know everything. And it's okay not to know everything. It's fine. But forgive yourself. Second, though, forgive those who have trespassed against you. Why? Not for them, but for you. You have to forgive others for you. It doesn't matter what they done and what they have put on your life. Listen, let me be transparent. Let me talk to y'all. Let's have a talk to talk. Come on, let's come in together. Let's talk. Listen to me. I'm gonna share this with you. Kelly was transparent. I'm always transparent. At 6, 7 years old, I was molested by 2 women. I held on to that for a long time. I felt like they should have, honestly, they should go shot, burned, and go to hell. But who was I hurting though? Me. Because I was walking around with bitterness and resentment in my heart and a closed off heart and voids. And so I treated people as such because we all know hurt people hurt people. Honestly, what we don't hear a lot of, broken people break people. I was broken and I was hurt, but yet and still, I was getting in relationships thinking it's all good, but the end result was always the same. I either hurt them emotionally or I broke them emotionally and sometimes mentally. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom, homeless, and I had an epiphany that, yo, you got to deal with this stuff inside of you. You got to let this stuff go. You got to get rid of all these voids from when your father died before you got a chance to meet him, from when they put you in the psych ward because you was in the military and they didn't understand that you were just trying to express yourself because you didn't understand what's going on because you went in as a young kid right out of high school, but they thought you was going crazy. So they put you in a psych ward, a straitjacket, and said you was crazy. You got to let that go. You got to deal with your emotions. And me and God had a talk. He said, King, it's time for you to empower people. You would think God would have said, oh, King, I'm so sorry that happened to you. No, he actually gave me an assignment. And I'm on it right now. My purpose is to empower people and teach them how to walk in power, to persistently overcome with effective resilience. Understand what I'm saying in power, though. I'm not saying to you that things are not going to happen. I'm letting you know you got to persistently keep going. You got to persistently keep overcoming. You got to persistently keep pushing towards whatever you're supposed to achieve. And let me tell you something else. This is a great secret that I learned. Once you achieve that thing, guess what? It ain't over. You still got something else to achieve because you will not master life until your casket drop. So I don't care how far you done got in your company. If you the CEO and the founder and you have achieved it, guess what that means? Time for you to go get another company. Build another company for somebody else, because you're not done until your casket drop. And you don't quit because it gets hard. You persistently overcome with effective resilience in every situation in your life, whether it's personal, whether it's family, whether it's business. I don't care what it is, relationships, your marriage, you persistently overcome with effective resilience in every situation. Now, I'm gonna close with this, because this is what I do, Dre. Women on this call, understand this. Walk in your strength that God ordained for you to walk in, no matter what cost. You don't let nobody, insecurities, stop you from walking in the strength that God has ordained you to walk in. That's my time. I'm done.
Boy, you brought that power today. My goodness, my God, my God. Impressive. You know, King, I just think it's just incredible the way that you really just put that in perspective when it comes to going to new levels and going to the next level. I know many of us would get to a ceiling and we don't know how to go above that ceiling. It's like, okay, I've always wanted to own up my own company. What comes after that? Own two companies, right? I've always wanted to be a homeowner. What comes after being a homeowner? You go buy an apartment home and rent it out. You go buy commercial property, right? You take it to that next level and you use your voice and your power to get in there. So King, thank you as always for joining on with this and the map, and I 100% appreciate you, right? So we're going to keep this moving. We're going to keep this going. So now we're going to talk about mindset, right? Let me get my shared screen going here. David. All right. Can everybody see the screen? Excellent, excellent. So when it comes to dealing with your mindset, there's some things that I use on a regular basis to really unlock my fullest potential. When you open up yourself to the possibilities of different concepts, it gives you an opportunity mentally to be open to increase. So I've got 4 principles I'm going to share with you. And if you're note takers, write it down, type it, put it in your Google Doc, you know, for my iPhone, whatever notepad they in there, because I am an Android user. But there are 4 principles that I live by on a regular basis. And the 4 are discipline, consistency, applied knowledge, and skill and will. When we talk about discipline, it's important because we see it every day in our daily routines. It's muscle memory. Many of us, when we get up in the morning, some of the first things we do is we head to the restroom. Then we brush our teeth, or we get dressed, or we get up and pray, or we hit snooze, right? These are all disciplines that happen when you get up. And we're going to start with discipline, and you're going to have an activity to do right now. So everybody that's on this phone, we're going to do discipline and start with goal setting. So on a sheet of paper, Google Doc, Microsoft Word, whatever you use, you can text it to yourself. You're going to take 30 seconds to write down the most important goal that you have that you want to accomplish in the next 30, 60 to 90 days. One, just one. What's the most important goal to you? And while you're dealing with that most important goal, I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds to think about that. And everybody that does it and everybody that does not do it will know your true level of discipline when it comes to education and growing. Bet y'all didn't see that one coming, right? Because some of you are going to do it, some of you are unable to do it, and some aren't. That will tell you right there where your level of discipline is as far as growth. But whether you do or you don't, it will define your true level of discipline. 30 minutes after you wake up, I want you to put in your calendars right now that goal. You can expand upon that goal later. You can add more to it, but I want you to put that in your phone right now, that goal. And every time you've done something towards that goal, I want you to write it down. I know in my calendar there's a note section in there where I can put notes down for every time I've stepped more towards my goal or I've added something to my goal. Because you have to tap into the subconscious mind in thinking of your routine. King talked about power. Kelly talked about voice. See, these are things that are in you, right? Sometimes you got to do tangible work for these things. But when you think about voice and power, your mind has to be the driving force. And then I'm going to pose another mindset question to you guys. Everybody, when you're looking at the screen, you see where it says your mind, right? So I want everybody to say your mind without saying it out loud. Just say it to yourself. Who is that voice that said that? Right? Who was that voice that you knew what the word mind meant? You knew how to say the word your mind, but you didn't verbalize it or put it out in the atmosphere with any vocal tone because your mind knew it. See, that's where your voice and your power is your mind knows it to be there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay here for a minute. I'm being moved. I'm gonna stay here for a minute. Y'all see that there's a key that's going into your brain. What is the key that's going to unlock you? If you did the discipline activity, congratulations. If you didn't, maybe you should work on your discipline. If you already have it in your calendar where you can look at it 3 times a day and 30 minutes after you wake up and do your normal routine of that goal, congratulations. But if you're not, see, you're missing out on a purpose that is destined for your life. Because you won't even take the time to put your goal where you can see it every day to retrain your mind into the growth. So number 2 in this. First one is discipline, second one is consistency. Another definition, because you guys know that I'm a chef, is in which a substance, typically a liquid, holds together thickness and viscosity. What is viscosity? What holds you together? Everybody understand what viscosity is. It's the texture, it's the feel, it's how thick or how firm it is. What holds you together? What keeps your mind sane and stable and not like some of the things that other people do? They say doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is insanity. See, the key phrase is different result. But consistency over and over again, you should expect the same result. And if anybody disagree, let me know. And so you got to find the areas in your life where you can be more consistent and acknowledge the areas of your life that you are currently consistent in. So what areas are you inconsistent in? So we're going to add some consistency. Doing another task, we're going to see if you're disciplined. I know y'all was thinking, well, we just come to hear you talk. We didn't come to do no work. Oh no, we're going to put in some work. Pick a time of day. You can do 30 minutes after you wake up like we did the last time. And I want you to type this in your calendar. I am the best. And then you're going to insert whatever you're the best at. So we got your goals 30 minutes after you wake up. Then you have your affirmation 30 minutes after you wake up. I am the best, and insert whatever you're the best at. I'm the best chef. I'm the best motivational speaker. I'm the best father. I'm the best husband. I'm the best brother. I'm the best sister. I'm the best CEO. Whatever it is for you. And you're going to look at it for the next 30 days, every single day, as often as you can. And I want you to take notes on how your productivity has changed just in that simple affirmation saying that I'm the best. Even though your peers don't think you're the best, or other people may not see you as the best, see, it's all about how you see you, not the others. Do that for 30 days. And you're going to see how your consistency is going to change about you. Now, applied knowledge. Everybody has always said that knowledge is power. Well, Albert Einstein said if you don't apply it, it's not. Right? And he's one of the greatest scientific minds that are out there. And I paraphrased what Einstein said. What he meant is you have to take that knowledge and apply it. It's kind of like your voice. Once again, nobody knows your testimony or knowing that they need to go to another place or know that you can help them without you opening your mouth and telling them your story. See, one of the things is I'm much like Kelly. I wasn't a scientific mind. I was a math whiz. I can do all the way up to trigonometry. I haven't used trigonometry since I took the class in college. That was almost 30 years ago. I can do calculus. Haven't done calculus in 30 years. Easy. So is it really powerful because I have the knowledge to do it? No, it's until I apply it. And how many of us, you included, have learned lots of things over the years that we never get to apply? Does that make us knowledgeable? No. But when you apply it, you give it your power. They say that a man no longer thinks. We only use 10% of our full potential. That's why we only unlock the 1% of the 90% that's left. You are what you think. The key to success and the key to failure is we become what we think about. If you don't miss any other principle that I give you today. Last one, skill and will. When it comes to skill and will, I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky. So Muhammad Ali, the GOAT, as far as person and, how society views him, he talks about skill and will. And if you want to excel, the pain doesn't start until you feel the pain. He equated to working out. He said, I do sit-ups and I don't start counting until I feel the pain. Right? And when you feel that pain is when change begins to manifest. Do you want to excel at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company, in your community? You want to get rich? See, you've got to plant the seed in your mind. You've got to care for it. You've got to work steadily towards your goal, and it will become reality. The goals that I just told you to put on there, the affirmations that I just told you to put on there, think of it in a relaxed and positive way. I need you to picture in your mind's eye as already having achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you have reached your goal. We are the subtotal of our thoughts. Now, how do you develop will and skill? All right? In these steps that I've given you. Understanding that we literally become what we think about. As you sow, shall you reap. That is a universal principle. I've learned that when you've got fertile land and you plant a seed, whether it's for good or for bad, the land doesn't care, like your mind, what you plant in it. See, the mind is going to give back whatever you plant in it, just like the land. Fertile land. You put poisonous seeds in there, it's going to give you an abundance of poisonous seeds. You put good seed in there, it's going to give you abundance of poisonous seeds. See, the land doesn't care what you plant. It's going to cultivate what you plant. And see, many of us have not taken our mind back. We've allowed all the hurts and the pains of the past. You heard King's story, 6 years old, 2 women. And now he's empowering women. You hear Kelly being bullied, being the black sheep. Now she's overcoming. Story of myself. When I was a teenager, my mom passed away when I was 10 years old in a bad car accident. I was there. Me and my father drove and watched the accident happen. It was devastating at 10 years old. From 10 years old till about 16, I was what you would call hell on wheels. I was young and black and I didn't care. Got me a year in juvenile detention for stupidity. Just because I didn't want to change my mind about, God, why'd you take my mother? I went into a dark, depressed state. I didn't care about much. I definitely did not care much about people. Being transparent, I spent a year. And from all the stories that you hear about youth penitentiary being different from adult penitentiary, it's not. It's not. It's just a younger mind. That's it. And because I was planting negativity into my mind, not being the best, my mom is gone, etc., etc., I ended up having a bad result. But that year woke me up because I went on to become homecoming king when I was in high school. I went on to get a full scholarship to the University of Houston, an academic scholarship. And I spent most of my 10th grade year, actually I spent all my 10th grade year in jail. That's when I understood it's like whatever I sow, I'm going to reap. I sowed calamity, I got it in return. But see, now I sow prosperity and I get prosperity in return. Number 2, realize your limitations are solely under your control and the possibilities are beyond belief. You don't have a ceiling. You know, I've heard people say the sky is the limit. But there's a whole universe out there. Because if the sky was the limit, there'd be no way for us to go into space. Rockets wouldn't be able to break the atmosphere, right? So there is no limit. There is no ceiling. Go as high as you want to go. Number 3, having the courage to think positively about your problem and set your mind on your goal and allow your mind to find all the possible angles and solution for your success. See, writing down that goal was just step 1. See, now you got to figure out how to get to it. And sometimes you don't have to worry so much about the how. But you do need to look at it and focus on it so you can have some direction. Number 4, no matter your present job, circumstances, or business, if you're willing to pay the price, the success that you want will come to you, and everybody defines it different. There's some housewives out there that are doing an incredible job maintaining their kids, their house, and the love of their husband. Who am I to say that she's not a success because she don't have enough zeros in her bank account? If that's what she wanted to do and what she set out to do, that makes her just as much a success as someone who is worth $126 billion and runs an online company that ships everywhere. The man on the corner store that owns the gas station, that's been his dream since he was a kid. He's only got the one location, but he's happy. Who am I to say that he's not maximizing what he does? Because success is defined by you. So these are your mind shift action steps. We're going to continue. We already talked about setting yourself a definite goal. Another thing that you want to add, quit running yourself into the ground. You can't please everybody all the time. Take some time for yourself. Sometimes you got to learn the power of no. It's difficult for a lot of people, especially when it comes to family and friends and people that are close to you. Don't run yourself into the ground. Take some time to relax. I was listening to a video the other day, and they were interviewing Eminem, the hip-hop artist, and they were interviewing Akon about Eminem. And Akon said, man, it was interesting, in my interview with Eminem, he talked, we were supposed to do a song together, and it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'm at the studio, and I'm waiting on him to come in, and I give Eminem a call, and Eminem was like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, we recording this track? He said, oh, man, no, I'm already done. I'm home for the day. And he was like, what? Thought we were supposed to, do the track. Then the next day, they start the track, comes in, late the track, starts at 9 o'clock around noon, and says to him, hey, man, I'm going to go take a lunch. And he said, you going to come to lunch, man? Akon told him, nah, I'm not coming to lunch. And Eminem legit took an hour lunch and then came back in an hour, worked on the song for another 4 hours. 5 o'clock hit. He told Akon, he said, all right, man, I'm gone. And Akon's like, what? You could respect the work ethic. He's not going to run himself in the ground because there's too much out there and too much success for him to have. And you got to start thinking like that. Stop thinking about the reasons why you can't be success in any area and think about the reasons why you can. Oftentimes, we beat ourselves down with negativity. We can't do this. We can't do that. Then we get society. You can't do this. You can't do that because you're female. You can't do this. You can't do that because you're a minority. You can't do this. You can't do that because you go by the pronouns them, they, and us. You can't do this. You can't do that because you believe a Christian belief, or you believe a Muslim belief, or you believe in Hinduism. You can't be successful because of these multiple things. And see, you've got to stop thinking that way, because your success is not tied to what others think. It's tied to what you think. And you can trace your attitudes all the way back to your childhood and discover where you first got the idea you couldn't be successful. Let's go. Think about when you were a kid. We were told no a lot as a kid. We would explore things. Think about a little infant baby that walks around and grabs stuff and touching on stuff. And parents always, don't touch that. Don't move that. Don't, put your hands on that. You don't want to get burned. All these different things that we were held back from. And then, of course, in school, if you failed, oh my gosh. I know I grew up in the era where we still pull switches off trees. You get a failing grade, you just get ready. Just get ready. Change the description of yourself by writing down the person you would like to be. I'm going to say that again. Change the description of yourself by writing down the person you would like to be. Take some time today. Matter of fact, you can start writing it now while I'm still talking, or you can put it in your calendar and do it right after we're done with this map. Write down the description of yourself. Somebody put in the chat. Has anybody, I'm going to ask this question, has anybody ever wrote down the description of themselves and who they want to be? And if you haven't, do it. And then act the part of the person you decided to become. Once you write down who you want to be, you're going to act in it. I want you guys to understand that. I'm going to say it one more time. Change the description of yourself by writing down the person you would like to be. And everyone on here knows me on LinkedIn. Send me some of those descriptions on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see who would be disciplined enough, consistent enough, and have the knowledge enough to apply the will and skill to take time to write down who they want to be and then act on it. Whew. King got me all riled up today. Appreciate you. Quick recap. Your voice is critical to your growth. Telling people about your experiences gives the opportunity to seek and fulfill your purpose. See, Kelly is an introvert. I asked her to be a part of this team. I'm not sure if she was reluctant or not, but she told me yes. She was speaking on this, and if I remember correctly, she told me that she got another speaking engagement from this just because she used her voice. King, because I used my voice and explain some things to King. Power. Now we have mutual business partners. And we're business partners. Your voice is critical to your growth. Your power gives you the courage to move by faith. It's the bridge that leads to success unknown. See, faith without works is dead. And power gives you the faith to do the work. Hope y'all caught that. Then your mind is the control you have in achieving your goals. It's what you think about. There's not a goal you can't achieve if you put it here. So what have we discovered? How to have healthy and powerful relationships with yourself that is sustainable. How to have an amazing relationship using your voice with your family and all the people around you. How to have a profitable relationship with your money using your mindset, because all you got to do is change that. Do me a favor. Before we go into the session of Ask the Coaches, put in a discovery moment, an aha moment that you had in listening to the M.A.P, voice, power, and mindset. And we're going to get into my favorite portion of it. Ask the coach. So as you're putting these things in the chat, I'm going to read some of these things out loud as my coaches get ready to be part of this chat. I have numerous times to change, and people can change over time. I say go Kelly. I am the best at. All right, Kadeem. Put that in there. Put that in there. Broken people break people. Yes. Let's go, Lori. Let's go. Yeah, this is a bit interactive because it's about to get interactive here in just a minute. Recording my affirmations in my voice and listening to it while preparing to go to sleep. Yes. Strength, power, your voice, listening to you. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you, Sky. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to hop into the Ask the Coach. So there is some parameters to this Ask the Coach. If you would be so kind, if your camera isn't on, raise your hand or put the hand icon on Zoom in one of the corners so we can recognize and keep this as even and timely as possible, right? And you have an opportunity. You have 3 coaches, 3 different backgrounds, 3 different upbringings, all certified in life, definitely. We're all parents. Some of us have grown children that are no longer in the house. Praise Jesus. It's amazing. So there's a plethora of knowledge that is here. Who was that to put that in chat? Even if you do all the things they ask you to do, it still isn't enough for them. It has to be for you and not them. Who said that? That's what I'm talking about. Felix, let's go, Felix. All right, so you've got me, Coach Andre. You've got Coach Kelly. You've got Coach King. This is an open forum. Only, like I said, only thing I ask that you raise your hand before you speak so we can be fair to everybody on here. And if you have any questions, any concerns, we probably got about another 15 minutes on here. So ask your questions. Ask your concerns. You've got coaches from the DMV, Florida, and Texas. I think the only thing I need to add to the squad is somebody from the West Coast. Maybe I bring on in Coach Muhammad, T. Muhammad. Maybe I bring him on in from the West Coast.
Dre, I just realized I didn't even know I could see the chat, man. So if anybody said anything to me in the chat, I'm sorry I missed it. I just realized a chat. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
It's all good. Thank you, man. It's great to see you, your wonderful faces. So anybody, ask a coaching question. We are here and open for you. Okay, I see somebody. Maybe they're on the other screen because I see somebody put their hand up.
Sky Lewis, they put their hand up.
There we go. All right, appreciate you, King. So that's why you got to have more eyes. Sky, come off mute. Ask your question.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having this wonderful event. I've learned so much from it. My question is for all of you. My main issue is I can go through the steps of setting a goal, mapping it out, even preparing to do it for a couple days, and then boom, I'm not consistent anymore. I'm not disciplined anymore. And then I'm not sure how to overcome that. And that's been happening for some years now. I just recently graduated last December with my master's degree in public health. And it's just, I've been going through school for 5 years straight, and now I'm just burnt out and tired. So if anything that you guys could give me some advice on how to stay consistent once I start something or start a goal would be wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna chime in first. And Kelly and King, you guys can chime in. So, one thing I want you to first recognize is congratulations. You made it through and got your master's, right, Sky? I want you to go back to the consistency that you built in getting that master's, because it takes some discipline to get a master's, whether you're doing it 5 years or 13 years, right? And what things that you use at that time to get you through that master's program, to get you through the bachelor's program. You had to spend 4 years in school for that, right? So you already have the discipline and the consistency that you need to achieve your goal, because you achieved your goal getting your master's, right? Go back to those small instances when you were building up to get your master's and revisit those times when you were feeling like you are now. Man, I write down a goal, I'm having trouble following through, et cetera, et cetera. You followed through. And I think for me personally, just speaking, just listening to what you're saying, you think in your mind that you can achieve the goal when you've already achieved the goal that most people don't. And you put in your mind, oh man, I write this down, I can't do it, I'm good for 3 or 4 days. You might need to add it 3 times in your calendar, right? You may need to look at it a little bit more than most people. You might need to take that extra step. And as I always tell people, get you an accountability coach. Get you somebody that's going to get in there and really be a driving force. But you got to find the right one. Kelly, King, y'all got something?
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Coach Dre, is that I've had the same problem as you, Sky. Wanting to do something, writing it down, like I know exactly what I want to do, but then after a certain time, like I got into like a little rut, and that's why you got to know what motivates you. Like for me, I have a really supportive behavioral preference. So I'm the type of person, like I'm very supportive to others, but when it comes to me, I need that extra push and that drive. So I love the fact that he said accountability partner, because listen, I got a coach. The life coach got a coach. And I got somebody to get in my face and say, listen, to call me out and say, listen, you ain't do this. You got to get up and do this. So I had that piece, but I also had to tap into what's the reason why I wanted to do it in the first place. And once I tapped into that, right? Like, okay, this is why I want to do this in the first place. And then I started to tell people, because I don't know if you're like me, I like to be a person of my word. I like what I say and what I do to line up. And I know if I tell somebody, I'm going to be extra motivated to do it, because I don't want to look like a liar. I don't want to look like I can't follow through. So I know my own triggers. Does that make sense? So I'm very self-aware of who I am. I know I'm very supportive. I like to support people. I like to be a person of integrity. So I use that against me for me, if that makes sense. So no, being very clear on how I'm motivated, and then having somebody to get in my face and call me out and say, girl, you need to get it together. So I'll leave it at that.
Hey, Scott, how you doing? Scott, you gotta talk to me. I'm an interactive person. I
don't want to interrupt. So yes, I'm doing great. Thank you.
How you doing? Listen, Scott, let me ask you a question. When you went after your master's degree, you understood that you had to have the books, you had your syllabus, so you knew exactly what you was going to do, right?
Yes, I did dental hygiene program, then my undergraduate, and then went straight into my master's. So that's where the 5 years was. Yes.
Do me a favor. Tell me one of your goals that you set for yourself that you wasn't consistent with. Just one of them. Just tell me one.
Keeping my house clean on a daily. That's the smallest thing.
Okay.
I'm struggling with the smallest things. I'm at the bottom.
Okay. Listen. Okay, keeping your house clean on a daily, it comes with a lot of unknowns, right? Because you don't never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to show up. You never know what's going to be in keeping your house clean. You never know who coming by. They may be a little sloppy, don't know how to put the plate in the sink like they should. You never know. But when you was going with your masters, you knew, because you had a syllabus. You knew what was going to come up. You knew what to expect. See, the thing about goals You got to understand this. You got to master this first. Understand, be comfortable with the unknown. Be comfortable with the fact that it may not go the way you think it's going to go. And if it don't go, you have to just adjust. Sometimes when we're going after our goals and when we're going after the things that are above what our norm, it's about a lot of unknowns. And the thing about with unknowns and goals, you got to understand that if it's an unknown, come on, understand you got to keep on pressing. That ain't mean the unknown showed up, mean that, oh, okay, maybe this is not the goal. No, that means you just have to adjust and keep going to the goal. So I encourage you, be comfortable with the unknown. Be okay with not knowing how every step is going to go. I live by this principle right here. I lean not to my own understanding. I just acknowledge God in all my ways and let him direct my path. Because see, if I try to figure out why all of a sudden you want me to do this when it don't look like they're going to accept me over there, then I'm going to never, ever reach any of my goals. I promise you, whenever you're going after something that you want, it's a whole lot of unknowns. I can't explain to you why it's like that, but it just is. But I tell you one thing I do know, all my unknowns, I have learned something very valuable from, and I have also used it to catapult me into getting to the goal and going beyond the goal. Because like Dre said, my thing of it is, if I reach a goal, I still got to keep going. I don't have a limit. Like Dre said, they say the sky's the limit. I don't have a limit. When my casket dropped, then I'm done. That's my limit. Then I'm up out of here. But for me, I would encourage you to be comfortable with the unknown and understand that it is coming. Understand that it is going to be some pushback, especially when you're doing something great.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Outstanding. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, Latoya. Appreciate you. All right. Well, anybody else? Any other questions? I don't see any other hands raised. Well, outstanding. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you.
Time out.
Talk to me. You saw one?
No, I don't know if this was Lori Hoff. Lori, I don't know. I'm sorry if I missed your message. I'm just scrolling up. We can't connect. I don't mind connecting with people. Understand, people, listen, you can connect with me. All my information Dre has. If you don't know me, Dre can reach out to me. You can connect to me. I'm in the DMV. I'm in the DMV area. I only been here for a year, so I really ain't tore up the DMV yet. But I'm about to. I'm about to make an impact on it. I'm just putting my team together right quick, and then we're gonna take it by storm like we do every area we go to. But I'm only been in DMV for about a year, and but if you want to get in touch with me, Dre has all my information. Reach out to Dre. He would send you my information. He would give it to you. And like I said, I'm willing to connect, speak, work with you. Anybody you want to do, anybody want to connect with me. I'm here for you. I just want to shout that out to Lori because I just not seen your message. All right, Jay, go ahead, do your thing.
Cool. So, the DMV, what explain what the DMV is. I know it's the DC area.
Yeah, it's DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Maryland and Virginia. Like, that's what it is.
Like, look, trust me. When I got here, let's check this out, Dre. When I first got here, I was looking for the DMV, which I know it as the Department of Motor Vehicles. So I'll ask somebody. I say, listen, can you tell me where the DMV is? Because I had to switch my license over. They were like, you in the DMV? I'm looking around like, bro, ain't no police in here. I mean, like, bro, and I say, bro, you don't understand what I'm saying, do you? I say, listen, I need to go to DMV because I got to get my license changed over. He was like, what you talking about? This is DMV. I'm like, bro, I really thought something was wrong with him, but they don't call it the DMV here. They call it the MVA here. So when I first heard it, trust me, I was with that person who just asked that question. What is DMV? Yeah, I was with you, Toya. I actually thought the same thing, like, what is DMV? But it is, now that I know, like I said, I only been here a year, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I see why, because they're so close, because you literally can drive through all 3 states in 6 minutes. You don't went to 3 states in 6 minutes. And that's how it's so funny, man. Because I had to go through, when I was working in the DC, I had to go through Virginia to get to DC. Then I had to come back through Virginia to get to Maryland. That's the craziest thing I ever seen in my life, but that's why they call it DMV.
Outstanding. Well, absolutely wonderful. So for all my people that is on here, we are coaches. I put my link in the chat so you can set up a one-on-one. I know some of you have already got on my calendar. for it, because we want to accelerate your mind. We want to put you on the right path to achieve your goal, whatever that goal is, very quickly, and then to have a consistent, repetitive success with achieving your goals. So set up a 30-minute coffee with me if you're on there. I believe Skies already has one set up, with me as well. So anybody else that's in there, I see Heather. Welcome, Heather. Heather's one of the great people that has been with a one-on-one with me for a coffee. So, but that's it. That's it for us. Typically I know you see these offers and somebody at the end and say, hey, you know what? Invest in you. Sign up for this. It costs this much. We'll talk about that if you're really serious about it. Open it up with the 101. And Lori, please send me a message in my LinkedIn. I will get you King's information over to you. And if there's any information you want from any of the other coaches on here, just shoot me a message in my LinkedIn. All of you are connected to the LinkedIn. So, and that is it for us today. I thank you once again for being on here, being with us. I thank you for a Sky coming out and ask a question. See, this is how we grow as a community, because, we're all connected, right? And every little thing that we do and every big thing we do affects the universe. And you have to understand the small things are just as important as the big things, because, an acorn creates a 100-foot tree, right? A corn stalk. Just think about a piece of corn, right? You plant a seed of corn, it turns into a 6-foot stalk. So be aware of the little things. Your voice is important. Your community is important. You are important. You're an overcomer. You're an overachiever. And the success that you want lies within you. So I thank you guys so much. Y'all have an outstanding day. And man, tell your friends about it. We're going to try to do this once a month. I'm going to start a YouTube and start posting these videos up, because, man, conversation is always great. So thank you guys for joining us today. God bless you, man, and y'all have an incredible day.